Alright, hello everybody, my name is Justin Folks, and today we are doing a ratings video, and just in time as I go traveling, we are doing a ratings video on states that I visited in 2024. These states will be whether I drove through them, flew to them, and actually did things in those states. So states we're going to exclude is Florida, Illinois, and Missouri, because I'm always around those states, and Florida is also home to me. St. Louis, you have the border right there to Illinois. So we're gonna have 10 states to go through. I'm gonna have a graphic to the side here. So we're gonna have a little fun with this one, and I will get into my experiences. So if you like traveling, if you like seeing maybe where you like to live, maybe this video is for you. So other than that, let's get right into it. The 10 states in this video will be Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Texas. Beginning with 10, I'm going to have Oklahoma. And you may be wondering, why is Oklahoma 10? Don't you like Baker Mayfield a lot? Yes, I do. So when I went to Oklahoma, I drove through it when I was doing a road trip to Dallas for Canada's soccer match. When I drove through there at first, it was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Get to the welcome center, kind of neat, and then you get in there and there's just a lot of old people. No offense to old people, but it just felt way out of my zone, if you know what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, okay. And then you go down the interstate, and on the interstate you have tolls in Oklahoma. For what? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So when you want to get off the interstate, you have to get off the interstate for some reason, because there's not an interstate from St. Louis to Dallas, Texas, for whatever reason. So I ended up having to go on more of these state roads, and you're just going through towns and towns, and there's so many speed traps, so many cops, because they have nothing better to do but patrol their little towns, and they're just looking to get anyone for speeding. It was just absolutely obnoxious not being able to carry a consistent speed, stop at red lights. It was just really annoying. So I've not been to Oklahoma City, so maybe I'm missing out a lot here, but that's why Oklahoma is 10. Going on to number 9, we have Kentucky. I've drove through Kentucky. It's just lame. No offense, but every time I drive through Kentucky, I get bored and I get sleepy. And right when you get towards that Tennessee border, there's a U.S. Army base called Fort Campbell over there. There's always just a big congestion for absolutely no reason going down I-24. It's annoying. I don't like it. And that's just why Kentucky's at number 9. There's good parts of Kentucky, but it is what it is. Going on to number 8, we have the state of Kansas. I mainly was around the Kansas City area, but once you get past Kansas City, there's tolls. Like, do you really not want your people of Kansas to go see Kansas City? You're really gonna make them pay tolls just to get to Kansas City? That's just pretty much lame in my opinion. So I also have had issues driving through Kansas. I don't like it, but overall we've had a really great time in Kansas City on the Kansas side. So we're going to keep it at 8. If I had to live out there, I think the Kansas City side of Kansas would be nice if you found a nice area. Moving on to number 7, and we have New Jersey. I definitely could have put this higher, but I feel it's the people in New Jersey that bring this one down. A lot of reckless people. If you're an NHL fan, you probably very well know this. I've been over there when I was going to the Copa America match between Canada and Argentina. The public transport, it's okay. It's not great. And you have New York on the other side, which is much better, to be honest. So overall, I wouldn't want to be in New Jersey entirely, because you have beaches that are nice, right? But you can't go to the beach the entire time because the winter season exists. So I feel the beach is kind of a waste in my opinion. Doesn't really mean much to me. And yeah, I don't really have too much to say about the Garden State. Moving on to number 6, and I'm gonna have Indiana here. Indiana is pretty chill, and every time I get into Indiana, it's Eastern Standard Time. So whenever I'm going to Indianapolis or maybe somewhere else, I get really happy that I get an Eastern Standard Time, so that's a plus. Indianapolis, it's not great, but it's cool. I've had some good times out there in Indy, so it's not too much to say about Indiana in general, but pretty much a chill state. You want to be careful when, like, right around now, when you have the spring season going into May, you have all these severe storms, but if you live in Terre Haute, apparently, it gets dodged. All right, we are halfway done already, and we're going to go on to number 5 here, and I am going to have New York. I respect a lot of people that work in the state of New York, especially if you're in New York City. It is expensive, to be honest. I'm not going to twist it. The taxes are absolutely insane, but if you're working in New York City, you're definitely hustling, so I can absolutely respect that. I like the area personally, in the New York City area. I've been to the state as well, and there's just a lot of taxes and stuff that I absolutely don't like. Public transport's pretty good, so credit there when you're in the city. But overall, it's just really kind of weird. I don't know if I like to live in upstate New York respectfully. Like, not even Buffalo, which is near Toronto. I don't think so. So overall, New York is fine. I guess it just really depends where you live and where you explore. Moving on to number 4, if you saw my rating cities videos, I rated the 2 cities in this state the lowest. But see, I didn't lie to you, because North Carolina is number 4. North Carolina is just a really chill state overall. I feel in the state there's a lot of places where you can live and feel comfortable at, for sure. Just unfortunate I didn't have the best of times in the cities, but overall, it's very chill to be there. The birds probably agree with me there if you hear the birds in the background. But overall, it's livable for sure. It's just not like top tier, if you know what I'm saying. But overall, you can get to a lot of cities pretty quick. Going on to number 3, we have Texas. And Texas is a great state. I will agree on that. There's also no state income tax, so good job there. But overall, every time I was over there, the big thing that I did not like was the tolls, especially in Dallas. Let me be honest, everything's ran really good over there. The tolls are just expensive. I don't recall how much money I spent over there on tolls, let alone when I looked at my transponder, but it was up there for sure. And there's not like a lot of tolls where you're spending money in Florida, unlike Dallas. That was absolutely insane. But overall, I've been to a couple cities in Texas. The drive's pretty nice. You can get the areas fairly okay. They're at least towards the middle of the state. So overall, not bad at all. I really enjoyed Texas. A lot of good food. There's a lot of good stuff there in general. So go to Texas. Going on to number 2, we have Georgia. Georgia, I considered putting at 3, but overall, I feel their infrastructure is pretty good. Atlanta, people talk about the traffic through there, but overall, I think the interstate is as best it can get. It's just idiot drivers that don't know how to merge. Georgia just seems pretty peaceful if you're not in Atlanta, if you know what I'm saying. It just feels really relaxed. It gives a different vibe. It doesn't give bad vibes at all. Really like the state of Georgia. And there's been times where you're like, oh, you hate Georgia because of the Florida Gators. That has never been the case, ever. Georgia is a wonderful state, and I have nothing wrong with your universities either. So, great universities. Just overall a nice area. I feel you can live in a lot of nice areas throughout Georgia, and you can experience some outdoor stuff there too. So, overall, we're going to put Georgia at number 2. It's also right by Florida, so that may be why it's higher than Texas. And we're going to move on to number 1 here, and we have Tennessee. Every time I am in Tennessee, I love the drive, love Nashville. The worst part of the drive, though, is Chattanooga. But overall, when you're going down I-24, it's just an absolute great time. When you get past Nashville to get to Chattanooga or wherever you're trying to go, to get on I-75. It's a fun drive. I've shown it in my travel video to Florida. I absolutely enjoy going up and down the hills. There's a lot of great things to do in Tennessee. I talked about outdoors in Georgia. I feel Tennessee is for everyone. There's Pigeon Forge, there's Smoky Mountains. Maybe not Memphis. I don't know if you want to go to Memphis, but anywhere else in Tennessee, it's just overall a really great and enjoyable state. And I've always had a great time there. So that's going to be why Tennessee is number one, and no state income tax as well. If you wanted to live there, I think it'd be a great place to live. So that's also a big part of why it's at number one. All right, that's going to be the end of this video. This weekend, I will be going to Talladega, which means I will be driving in Alabama for the first time. I've been in Alabama, but it wasn't by my own choice. So this will be my first time going to Alabama on my own choice. I've only just drove through Alabama. So it's going to be a new experience. I'm excited for it. We're going to see how it goes. And I've just been waiting for this all weekend. So I figured, why not do a video, which I said I would do. I figured just have a little fun with this. So overall, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video and you have a great one. Take care.